Greetings, everyone. This is Rock from Spot Connection, and today we'll be talking about what the February previews potentially mean for the X-Men books. Now, first off, we'll backtracking. Every month, Previews magazine comes out near the end of the month, and it generally covers what's coming up. Basically, like I said, for example, the most recent one came out this past Wednesday. So it's safe to just say it covers 2 months ahead. So, most recent, and Marvel and DC both have their own separate magazines bundled within previews that many comic book shops will give to their customers. But it's a great way to find out, get an idea of what's coming out, when in the month it's coming out, and so on and so forth. So, obviously, this past Wednesday, the new previews came out, and what you got? There's some interesting points in Marvel previews when it comes to the X books. So let's get started, shall we? First and foremost is, of course, Wolverine. Now, we got some preview pages. No dialogue, but yeah. Loving that the Adam Kubert artwork. Oh no! Yeah, okay. Looks like they actually are redesigning the orange and brown costume, or have redesigned it. Okay. There are going to be a handful of variants, and I'm gonna have to get. I gotta get that Jim Lee cover. Also, it's going to be, wow. It's going to be 72 pages. Okay then. All right. Next up. Oh, and well, hey, let's actually. What's the solicit saying? So first off, we're only getting one issue of Wolverine in February. So it's not going to be one of the ones that's multiple times a month, at least not yet. Wolverine has been through a lot. He's been a loner, he's been a killer, he's been a hero, he's been an Avenger, he's been to hell and back. Now, as the nation of Krakoa brings together all mutant kind, he can finally be happy? With his family all together and safe, Wolverine has everything he ever wanted, and everything to lose. Benjamin Percy and Adam Kubert bring the best there is to his new home, plus the return of Omega Red. And yeah, actually, last week's X-Force number 2 confirmed that, yeah, Dakin, Wolverine's son, is alive on Krakoa. And obviously, Fallen Angels basically focuses on his daughter, X-23. The only thing I'm curious there is, what about Honey Badger? And it does seem like what I'm really wanting out of a Wolverine book we're actually going to get. So, squeak. All right. So next up, we've got the first two parts of an X-Men Fantastic Four crossover miniseries. Bringing up the fact that, one, the seeds of this were planted back in House of X. X-Men Fantastic Four number 1. Written by Chip Zdarsky, drawn by Terry Dodson. Who, by the way, let's just ogle that cover for a minute, shall we? I love the Dodsons, I really do. That's the first issue's cover. So, issue number 1, Krakoa. Every mutant on Earth lives there, except for one. But now it's time for Franklin Richards to come home. It's the X-Men versus the Fantastic Four, and nothing will ever be the same. I mean, until the last issue, but, you know, hey. Where's the fun in actually keeping things different? Alright, so, X-Men Fantastic Four, number 2 of 4. The world has been reshaped by the X-Men. But you can't reshape a world without encountering its true master, Doom. The first issue will actually be a longer issue, 40 pages as opposed to the usual 32. Whereas number 2 and presumably also 3 and 4 will just be 32 pages. And once again, let's just ogle that Terry Dodson artwork. God. We got Valeria, we got Logan, we've got Emma, Ben Grimm, and Colossus, and more often than not, I get bummed out because I'm not going to afford that variant cover. This, with this X-Men Fantastic Four miniseries, I don't want the variant cover. I want the regular one because damn. Okay, so next up, this is something that popped up on Twitter a few weeks ago. Giant Size X-Men, Jean Grey and Emma Frost, number 1, written by Jonathan Hickman. Okay, the first of 5 essential X tales, specially designed to showcase some of Marvel's best artists. First up, Russell Dauterman, superstar artist of Thor and War of the Realms. When Storm is in danger, it's going to take 2 of the most powerful telepaths on Earth working together to make things right. Jean Grey and Emma Frost together again for the good of Krakoa. And apparently, Jean is going back to... Looks like she's doing something more along the lines of her X-Men Red costume, but with a green and orange color scheme as opposed to blue and orange. I like it. I do. I really do. Next up, Excalibur number 7. The Huntsman and the Warwolves. Excalibur faces an old foe. This time as the Hunters rather than the game. Now the Warwolves and the Huntsman were enemies of the old Excalibur title that I mentioned a while back, which was a bit more rooted in fantasy than usual superhero science fiction stuff. Next up, we've got X-Men number 7. Mutants are forever. The resurrection protocols have changed everything for mutant kind. No more can humans hate and fear take their lives from them. But what else has it changed? This is actually something that a question that's come up quite a bit online is kind of they're acknowledging that you have to do more than just use someone's genetic material to make a perfect clone of them, especially a clone that would still be the same person. But are they really the same person? Next up, so we get 2 issues of Marauders in February, number 7 and 8. Let's see. Just to write up for them. As Verendi's plans against Krakoa grow, the Marauders find themselves missing something vital. Something that brings Storm and the White Queen to blows. And we'll be getting a new series artist, Stefano Caselli. And to be fair, I really like Caselli's artwork, so... Then we get 2 issues of X-Force, as well as 2 issues of New Mutants. Domino's luck seems to be changing. Can she find the source of her misfortune before it costs lives all over the world? And has Colossus healed enough to help her, or even himself? Keep in mind that in the first issue of X-Force, Colossus was pretty banged up after a mission to Russia. And, well, last issue of X-Force also clued us in on just what's happened to Domino of late. It wasn't pretty either. So then we get New Mutants numbers 7 and 8. Deep in Shi'ar space, the New Mutants have found themselves dead in the middle of an intergalactic power struggle. They're probably equipped to handle that, right? And back on Earth, the young mutants of Krakoa look forward to the future, whatever it may hold. Okay. And that's it for the X-Men books. So, the big question I have is, where's Fallen Angels? There was a solicit for a January issue that didn't seem to imply that was a final issue. So, you know, in fact. Yeah, okay, we got 5. Yeah, we got 2. Yeah. Alright, let's see what... Alright. Fallen... This is from, this is January's preview. Previews for January. Fallen Angels numbers 5 and 6. Husk and Bling join Psylocke and company on their mission to stave off Apoth and his children. Then, Cable turns on X-23. So how come we don't know where issue 8? Now, okay. One thing I will admit, there have been some reports of late that yes, there are some Dawn of X titles in the coming months will be delayed from what previews said. And these delays were announced after previews. So, hopefully, this is just a case of, hey, we're trying to get all the... We're trying to make sure everyone's on the same page. We're not entirely clear where everything's going to fall, and maybe they're just, at least for the solicits, saying, we're going to take a month off from that one. So I'm hoping that's the case because Fallen Angels. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's got potential, and I could admittedly, yes, it does feel very similar. It has a very similar feel to me to X-Force, but it's the kind of X-Force I really like. More dingy in the shadows. So I would love to see the two books converge, because I think that could be really fun. Anyway, that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. We will be back tomorrow with a rundown on the final month of Absolute Carnage. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.